Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Nerd Herders. My name is Rich.
I'm Nick.
Today we're going to be talking about what we've been up to. So Nick, what have you been up to?
Quite a bit.
Wow.
There's a lot to discuss.
Okay.
So I'm going to discuss none of it with any substance.
Great.
Actually, one of the things I think we're going to talk about with our topic of the week.
Okay.
So I'll save most of my thoughts on it, but I saw the BFG.
Okay.
Which is the new Steven Spielberg movie that, as everybody's writing about, bombed over the weekend. Didn't make much money. It's been a little bit overblown. It made $20 million. It's obviously a disappointment on a $160 million budget, but it's not like it opened at $4 million or something like that. I saw it. I thought it was a very enjoyable movie. It's the kind of movie that you watch and you're like, they don't really make them like that anymore. It feels very much like a family film, like from the 90s or the 80s in many ways. It also feels very British in its sensibilities and stuff. Like, it just doesn't feel like something you would see nowadays, and at least one of the other movies I saw this weekend kind of compounded that belief. To the point where I'm not surprised this movie didn't make money at all. It's a good movie. It's definitely it's incredibly well made. It's well acted. There's vivid life in every single shot. What we would expect from a Spielberg movie, and there's no question when you watch it why this appealed to his sensibilities. But I am not surprised it didn't make money. It's not. It's just not what audiences go to nowadays.
Sure. I'm still looking forward to seeing it. I haven't gotten a chance to check it out yet.
Did
you see it in 3D and 2D?
Nah, 2D.
Okay. I didn't know if it... I haven't heard whether or not it was...
fine in 3D. I'm just over that.
Sure.
So that's one movie that I saw. The other movie... I saw 3 movies. But the movie that directly kind of countered the two sides of what we get nowadays with the family films is we went and saw Angry Birds.
Oh.
Which has been out for quite some time.
Yeah.
But me and Dana and I went and saw that. She was really excited for it. I was kind of like, whatever.
I'm interested in seeing it.
This was like the year, supposed to be the year of the video game movie. Ratchet and Clank, absolutely, that bombed. Like, I don't even think that made what BFG made in one weekend in its entire run. Warcraft bombed here.
Yeah.
Worldwide, it's doing fine.
But it was destroyed
Awful
by critics.
Movie, terrible movie. I ripped that one apart a few weeks ago. Go check that out. But Angry Birds was kind of the one video game movie this year where I was like, I can see that one catching on. And it kind of did. It was mildly successful. Overall, it didn't really take off. But I was interested in it just because I used to play those games. There's not much of a story there.
No.
But the voice cast was really good, right? You have like Bill Hader, Jason Sudeikis, the chubby guy who does Olaf.
Josh Gad?
Josh Gad, Kate McKinnon, bunch of people, bunch of cool, funny people were in the movie. So I was like, all right, yeah, let's go see it. You want to see it? Let's see it before it's out of theaters. That's fine. I'll never watch it otherwise. It's fine.
Okay.
It's enjoyable. It's like, but it is in a lot of parts obnoxious, like some kids' animated movies are, where it's just like, why are you doing that? Like, that's not going to be funny in a year, let alone like a month from now. Like those kind of jokes where it's like the pop culture current stuff where it's like, just stop. Why is this in there? This movie will never feel timeless because of these things. Like Shrek, like nobody watches Shrek anymore, right? Like, for the most part, like those movies fizzled out. It was the most popular thing.
I think the first one still holds up, but I'd be curious to go back and watch the second one.
But you still, like, you go in and it's like there's these references.
It's very of
feel
its time.
dated,
Yeah.
In what's supposed to be like you just don't see that with Pixar and Disney or any of the best animated films.
Sure.
And this very much has that. It has some humor that doesn't work, but it has some funny parts too. The animation is really well done. Sometimes with these things they look kind of cheap. Like, I watched the trailer for the new Ice Age and it's just kind of like this doesn't even look like you're trying anymore.
I can't believe they're making a 5th one of those.
They make a lot of money, which is crazy. But you could do worse. In some ways, I was thinking about it even halfway through, as I was kind of annoyed by a lot of it. I was still thinking, is there a better video game movie than this? Probably not. It might be the best video game movie in only the most passable of ways.
Wow.
But like like Dana, from Dana Explained, she really liked it. Like she really enjoyed the movie, which is fine. Finally, the last movie that we saw Central Intelligence, which is with The Rock and Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Very entertaining movie.
Okay.
Another kind of like, at the end of the day, meaningless movie.
Sure.
But it brought back those memories that you have watching like the great like buddy cop movies, even though they're not cops per se, they're like CIA people. But it definitely has that vibe of like what really makes like Rush Hour fun, the first two, or like 48 Hours, like any of those kinds of things. It has a passable enough story. It's got some other good actors in it doing funny things, and the chemistry between the two is very good.
See, this was one that I've been kind of interested to see. My girlfriend saw it, and she enjoyed it, and I was like, do you think I'd like it? She's like, maybe, because I'm not a big Kevin Hart fan.
Right.
But I do like The Rock, and I do like a lot of their like social media back and forth that they've been doing for a while. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I'm kind of like, I'm interested to see it, but I've never like Get Hard didn't do anything for me or any of that kind of stuff. I'm just like, I don't care.
The really interesting thing that I thought this movie did, and why you might like it, saying that you aren't really a fan of Kevin Hart, you do like The Rock, as do I. And I agree, Kevin Hart is so oversaturated at this point. He's in a movie every month.
Yeah.
Like, there's just too much of him. His shtick would be funny once a year, not 8 times a year. For the majority of this movie, Kevin Hart is the straight man.
Oh, really?
And The Rock is the one who's hilarious and does the ridiculous things and does things that you would not expect The Rock to do and says things and dresses and things. He's the funny one. He's the comic relief. And seeing him do that was very different. And seeing Kevin Hart, in a lot of ways, being the straight man,
It's very different for...
like, not the loose cannon,
being
the Danny Glover as opposed to the Mel Gibson, was very interesting.
Okay.
It's an entertaining movie. It's not going to knock your socks off. You're not going to remember it in 6 months, but you could do worse than watch it.
I'll check it out.
Finally, and another quick one.
You've been busy.
I did totally beat Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, it's awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm playing through it a second time in challenge mode.
Going for that
like
platinum?
halfway through. We'll see. Some of the trophies, specifically, there's like some times that you have to hit in the races. Did you get to the races at all?
No, I'm not. I'm still not very far in it, but I do. I was looking at the trophies and
hoverboard parts. I got like the gold trophies on my first playthrough. That was no issues. But the time ones, I tried for a bit and like, I mean maybe I'm just inept, but I was just like, these are the two that might prevent me from getting this. And apparently for a long time, it was patched recently. There was a thing that you just like, you have to beat one race in like 1:35 on the hardest setting, and another one in like 2 minutes in the hardest setting. And for a long time, you could start the race and then quit out of the race, and it would give you the trophy. But they patched it.
So you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, so anybody who has the platinum from before, I'm not going to, maybe you just did that. But
overall, you liked it.
Oh, the game is amazing.
Okay, cool.
It's definitely... I feel like I played a fair amount of really good games this year already.
Yeah, it's been a
and this is one of the best ones. Like, I haven't really been disappointed with anything I've played, but it was a really entertaining game. You should definitely finish it.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'll work on that tonight or something.
What have you been up to?
Well, I really went up to one thing, but I didn't talk about something I was up to last week. I finished Doom.
Oh,
I platinumed Doom.
Wow.
Were you gonna play that?
Platinum Dunes, Michael Bay.
Yeah. Michael Bay and I hung out and we killed some Hellspawn.
I have not played it yet.
Oh. Are you planning?
Yeah, someday.
It's really, really fucking good. A ton of fun. That's another one that if you're gonna go for the platinum, you may want to do it before they patch things even further. Because there's one of the trophies on it is beat the first level at like ultra nightmare mode, like whatever the hardest difficulty is. It's essentially 1 and 2 hit kills. But if you can make it through like the second part of the level, there's a way that you can climb up onto the rock wall and just run past the entire level and through a glitch and just make it to the end.
Interesting.
So if you're gonna do it, but no, I mean it's a lot of fun.
Good.
I think I have not had that much fun in a first-person shooter in a long, long time.
That's good. And one, I don't know if it's a criticism. It kind of sounds like a criticism when you hear some of these the video game podcasts that we listen to. A common thing that I've heard people saying is they were super, super into it and then just stopped playing. Didn't finish it. You never felt like you got that way?
No, I mean, the only reason I ever got that way is just because other stuff started to come up. But I was getting to a point where I was like going to take a long trip, and I was like, if I don't finish this game soon and jump back in, I probably might not get back to it. So I sat myself down. I only had like 2 levels to get through. But I was also going through each level like meticulously, like finding every secret, everything that I could. But no, like there was never a point where I was like, I don't really want.
I think I was specifically the reason you might not have heard that whole conversation. I was listening to Podcast Unlocked, the Xbox IGN one, and it was like Ryan McCaffrey, Marty Sliva, Alana Pierce, a few other people, and they were all talking about how like they were super into the game, loved the game, it's a great game, but none of them had finished it, and they're like, I don't know when I'm going to go back to it.
There was never a point where I didn't want to go back to it.
Good to hear.
And then the other game that I started was Lego Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Chewbacca. She's in the game. It's a lot of fun. I really like Lego Dimensions. I was excited to go back to Lego Dimensions, but Star Wars is one that I'm like, I can't wait to get a chance to sit back down and play it again. It is a lot of fun. I mean, it's a Lego game. It's definitely probably one of the better Lego games. I haven't played too many Lego games. The first one I played was Lego Batman. Like the original, a friend of mine had lent it to me. And it glitched out like 5 minutes in. Like I got stuck in a car in a room or something, and I was like, nope, I'm done. I got mad and just never went back. And then Lego Dimensions, I finally jumped back on board. And so after Lego Dimensions, then I got this one. And then I play these with my girlfriend because she likes... Those are one of the few games she really likes to play. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll play these together. But she didn't care about Lego Marvel Superheroes. Not the new one that came up with the old one. And so I was like, okay, like if I'm this way I can still play Legos without cutting into the games that we're going to play. And so I've been playing that too recently, and I'm like, it's okay. Like it's got the older kind of Lego mechanics and stuff. But the Force Awakens, it has, the new like character switching, flying, things like that. The blaster battles are kind of cool. They're very like a Gears of War type style. I don't know how much you've seen.
Yeah, no, I've seen all that stuff, like the cover-based shooting and stuff. It has flying too. Right?
Yeah, it's got a lot of like dogfights, and you fly X-wings and the Millennium Falcon and TIE fighters, and
that's really cool. While I'm thinking about it, going back to Ratchet. Which might be why I'm also kind of okay with not playing Lego Force Awakens yet. I'm eventually going to get it. Is I feel like they both kind of have that like 3D platformer. Sure. Kind of filled my itch on that for a while. Now I'm going to go off and do something totally different. Yeah. But if I had one complaint about Ratchet, it would be the few. I think there's 2 levels where you're flying your ship. They're not that well done. They're okay. They're fine. Overall. Otherwise, it's a masterful game, but the flying sections in Force Awakens, have you hit any of those?
Oh, yeah. I've only got like 2 chapters, I think, left in the game.
Good.
It's only like 13 levels or something, but there's like a ton of gold bricks and these characters and that character, and the depth of the characters and stuff that you can get in this game. Like, most of these Lego games, like, they really dig deep.
Right, and it's everybody.
Like that big giant creature in Maz's place that the girl whispers to, like he's an unlockable character, and that guy off in the corner, he's an unlockable character. And one of the cool things about it is it starts with Jedi.
Right.
So it starts at the Battle of Endor and kind of gets you used to the mechanics, and then it like goes like 30 years later, and then it jumps into the Force Awakens story.
Nice.
But it's a lot of fun. It's really funny. It looks great. I love that they got, the voice cast, the whole cast back, as far as I can tell, to do voice work and stuff for it. But this is what I'm surprised you didn't
No, of course. I made like a vow to myself. I'm not gonna buy any full price. If there's a sale, sale's a sale. But I'm not gonna buy any full price new games until I get through the stack of fucking 15 games that I haven't actually played yet. Like, there's no point in doing that right now. To me, I can't just.
Sure, that's fair.
And the other thing, like, I would love to dive right into Lego, but I'm also, because I have all these other games, like, and the Lego games frequently do go on sale. I was just like, yeah, I can wait.
Well, like if it was any other Lego game, I probably would wait
for sure.
And because like the Marvel superheroes I got for $20, so Lego games tend to drop in price pretty quickly because you usually have a different one out in a year,
or less.
Or yeah, but since it was Star Wars, and I'm like, no, this is day one. I want that special edition. I want the minifig. I want the season pass.
I will definitely eventually get it. Cool. Obviously. Very cool. So that's what we've been up to.
Yeah.
Every once in a while we don't talk about stuff that we're up to that was also cool, and we sometimes tweet about it. I'm on Twitter @Shonks.
I'm on Twitter @RichBelson. The channel is on Twitter at @OABeer_official, and you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/overabeer, or on Instagram @over_a_beer, and of course we're on YouTube at youtube.com/overabeer. We're every Tuesday. So today we post a brand new full-length beer review, so you can check those out there. And you can follow us on Untappd, the beer app, Overbeer, one word. And every Friday on soundcloud.com/overbeer and iTunes, you can check out the Overbeer podcast, where it's Nick and I, and sometimes Dana, a little more of an off-topic conversational podcast. We have some special guests we're trying to get. Hopefully that should be figured out soon. But you can check that out there. But that's going to wrap things up for today. So until next time, drink up.
Butter me up.